you don't really have that much.
Yeah, also if you fall behind, if Guma falls behind, Senna is super vulnerable to being put behind, and she's already down in levels because of how the champion works.
Too much, but let's get ready to hop onto the rip for game number 1. Yeah, absolutely can. And I'm very curious to see how this bottom lane is going to go, because a lot of priority here from the DRX bot lane. They say, okay, well, if we have to deal with Caitlyn Lux, we can't play this lane. But he's got that support, as you mentioned. Pletta's coming over, and he will help get this one. Owner's just going to give up on the blue buff. He says, there's no way I can fight for that one. Might even get his Gromp taken away as well, as that is going to reset. Very awkward here for Owner, who's also going to get rooted down. Not in danger of dying, as Teddy is not here just yet, but a bit of a skirmish brewing in the T1 jungle right now. As the 3-on-3 comes in, and it's really just a fight over the Gromp.
I've never seen such a heavy contest over a Gromp.
I've seen the Gromp get kills, so it can be very valuable. But, yeah, it looks like eventually DRX are just going to give up on it. They want to return to lane, and they want to... And so far, I've been nothing but impressed by DRX.
Yeah, the timing's so good that Fake is back because, you know, they obviously have a lot of prio bot, they have a lot of prio top, but mid is the one where you're like, you know, we saw Yahoo forced back by Faker, but because of the timing...
Obviously, before the changes, when the Aurelion Sol was very popular, he was hitting like 4,000. As I say that about Faker, he's now going to get knocked up, and he will just dash away. Owner goes in, and he's alone. So he realizes, hey, I'm just going to back away.
At a Chemtech Soul, just giving you no real late game option on the back of it. Oh, Frog in trouble.
Yeah, it's a Senna gank that comes in, but again, this is Renekton, and they're just going to try to turn this one around. They got Viego coming up here as well as the TP, and that's an Aurelion Sol. You're not getting away from that as he glides on in. The ult has to be flashed by Guma, and that's a nice first blood going to DRX.
He can prevent the die, but Faker might just shuffle him if he does.
The root's going to come in, but that's Dominus as he goes in. The flash from Owner, but they just don't have the damage. I mean, this is under a turret against a Fed Renekton with Dominus and Black Cleaver finish. So,
yeah,
that dive did not work.
And right now, so far, it's gone pretty good. Now, TP's going to come in to try and deny this Herald, and I don't think they're going to get the value from it as a result. T1 going in force to prevent this.
I mean, DRX still here as well, but yeah, that pushback and no charge means that the Herald...
Control over Banana Brush and the Aurelion Sol being able to put down that field does make it hard, but Owner looking for a flank.
This is a big ult from the side of Carry. It's going to hit 4 people, and the ult from Zeus going to knock back the Aurelion Sol, as a big ult will come from the Aurelion Sol. But now the Vi goes in, and we do have the Nico pop-up, but a lot of members on the side of DRX are low. But where's the damage from T1? So many low health bars here on the side of DRX, but nobody can kill anything. Finally, Carrier will get the second kill onto the Viego, and Guma on the Senna, level 8, is able to get that final kill onto Pleta, as C1 finally turned that fight around. Kind of maximum value out of those team fight ultimates from the Poppy and the Ornn especially. And now trying to get to work here on a Frog who just got his Dominus back, was probably spamming that one, and now do they have the damage to chase him all the way down the lane? The double slice and dice will come in, and Frog does get away. As now the bottom laners just kind of playing around here in mid. Carrier already level 13. Ahead of Teddy in terms of levels, and now Sponge going 1v1 versus Owner. They're going to get the knock-up on a Yehu, but there's no follow-up here from the side of T1, so a little bit of a... Not really going to chunk through this one, as the ult is going to come down, hits the Senna, and a bit of damage here on a Carrier. But it's pretty much just Yehu trying to hold on to this mid wave. Everybody else is backing. T1 handled this well. I don't think that DRX were fooling anyone there, as there is vision now in the Baron pit. And so T1 will just get another Chemtech break, as now, little fight coming in, but Carrier goes way too deep by himself. That's now getting flanked by Frog. He is all alone in the enemy jungle. Down he will go. That is that very tanky Ornn just dead, and now DRX looking at that Baron. Specifically, the Hunter Baron does a lot of damage, but this is going to be a rough steal from the side of Owner. I mean, there's a Kalista, you've got Smite, and they're down a member as the knockback comes in, and now it's just a massive Aurelion Sol ult, and the Kalista gets the Baron, and T1 do a bunch of damage, but they're losing everything else. Nobody on the side of DRX will fall except Sponge, and Zeus is just on the run here. Yahoo looking for a little bit more, and he should be... okay.
Oh, too much healing, too much healing.
So the plants are going to come in, and that's fine. That would have just been the bonus. Looking to land the stun or something. The Keeper's Verdict is going to hit the Aurelion Sol away, but the 2 members of DRX are already on the Poppy, and Zeus cannot survive. as that Poppy looking really squishy at this point in the game with the amount of damage that DRX have and the momentum they have.
Yeah, great ult from Yehu, and Frog layers the CC, kills him, and the damage from Sponge is there as well. The Ornal comes in, but not able to connect. Now T1 are gonna try and find something here on Yehu, but they might be in trouble themselves.
Oh, it's a root here on Owner. He's in a ton of trouble. I mean, look at that massive chunk that the Aurelion Soul is at this point, and the Vi alone is obviously going to be taken down. The only gold lead is on the Orn. As Sponge, he's going to get a flash out of the Senna as well. That means that Guma's going to have less survivability on the next Aurelion Soul ult.
With just how this game is going so far, T1 set up for the Dragon again. It's only a Chemtech, but DRX not going to let them get this one for free.
Yeah, this time around, DRX want to fight for it, as a lot of poke damage is coming out of the Azir. Faker doing a good job of that. But is it going to be effective damage here? As we don't have the empowered ult, and a lot of damage does go into the Dragon, as T1 will take it down. DRX, and now just kind of chasing T1 through their own jungle. They want to push and get some mid-prio here and maybe take down another turret, but now Peria gonna throw his ult as the flank is coming in. Sponge in a really rough spot, as now the ult from the Poppy's gonna knock him away. Yehu's all alone on the top side of this one, as these fights have been so messy. Pleta, a massive ult as Baker in a lot of trouble, has to flash away. Keria going in by himself. He's got Guma on the backside. Yehu's gonna go down by himself. Keria is so tanky, but does eventually go down to the human nexus that is Teddy. T1 looking for a little bit more on the chase as the charge comes in from Zeus, and it looks like Pleta will have to give his life for the team.
T1 managed to find that engage, and that's the danger against his composition. Oh, Teddy!
The flash comes in. That's a shutdown for the Vi, and importantly,
Yehu is TPing in. They can contest this.
They absolutely can with Yehu and how gigantic this Dragon is, but the Ornald comes in as T1 look for the turn, and they get absolutely bombed in the river. Massive damage comes out from the Aurelion Soul as Yehu, he is going to go down to Faker though, who is doing an insane amount of damage, and now Zeus and Keria able to win a 2v2 up there. Frog trades one back, but man, that Aurelion Soul ult was insane, and DRX stopped the Baron attempts. They got a Callista, they've got a tank, and this Baron does do a lot of damage. You see Frog is getting a little bit low, and Faker with the Mega Cone is just going to go to the north side here alongside of Zeus and try to fight this straight up. Pleta just trying to avoid it as the Fate's Call, they dodge the ult from the Poppy, but they take out two, and it's only Teddy who does get the Baron, and it's now 1v2ing. Teddy able to stand up to two, and no, will take him down at the last moment.
Pleta there. Pleta gets an ult to stop Faker coming in.
Okay, 바로 먹을게.
I'll get Baron, he says.
Oh, so close, so close. But he got the Baron.
As they do have just an intense amount of damage. The smite comes in, and the Callista secures it. And T1 say, well, you get it. We'll try to get mid-prio. Frog in a lot of trouble, goes for the Dominus, is going to get swept as a team, and Frog is just so tanky, though, as the rest of the DRX is coming on over. They want to take the fight. Owner is in a lot of trouble, but the Yehu ult doesn't do that much damage, and down will go the Renekton, and now Yehu's on the run. Pleta's on the other side of the fight, as here comes Faker once again, looking for more, but the peel comes in from Sponge to help out Teddy. Nobody can get on this Callista, as they're trying to lock the soldiers forward. And Owner, here comes Zeus looking for this, but the Sonya's is going to keep him alive, and the rest of the team is able to dive under the turret. Zeus is able to lock them in place, as now Teddy, the range from the Senna is too long, and maybe, just maybe, T1 has won a big team fight. I don't think they'll win the game, as now they're trying to get Pleta here, who was just pushing mid, and he will just die.
And they are starting it up. DRX have vision, but T1 have their engages ready to play interrupt on whoever approaches.
Yeah, I'm looking for this Keeper's Verdict right now as the ult comes in from Frog. They want to get...
Oh, the
massive knockup from the side of Pleta and the follow-up, but T1 are still turning this one around, but Faker the first one to go down. Guma's also going to hit the deck. The rest of the team, though, is dead on the side of DRX, but this Viego is getting reset. Finally does go down, as it's just the two tanks left, and the Dragon is just breathing on everyone. A triple kill comes through, and Zeus will go down as well. And they have that damage to get the job done. As we are tied currently with the most kills in summer at 40. As T1 do not want to give them this one, but they're already getting to work on this Dragon.
Yeah, the cluster secure really makes it a lot easier, but the fight's gonna come in.
Oh, the ult there onto the Renekton, but the massive damage there. But Yehu is alone in the front line. He has to go solo. Atlanta with the turn, but their dragon is already dead. Down will go Faker, though. Is there a chance, perhaps, for Sponge and Teddy to carry this one? Owner on the chase here. Pleta's gonna go down. Teddy's also gonna go down. I think T1 have finally broken the backs of DRX in this game one.
They managed to take down Yehu. The ult looks massive. Pleta gets a big ult, but it's just not enough. And Guma, the Fountain Laser, comes through clutch in this game. T1 able to close it out. An absolute battle to get to this point, and this is just game one and breaking the record 4 kills in a game this summer. An absolute slugfest.
I mean, this was just insane. 46 minutes. I did not expect to cast a game like this in game number 1 of this series as well. But T1, they do take down the Nexus. They get the first win of the best of 3.
You know, Yehu had a fantastic game, did 1 million damage. Pleta had some huge ults. Pleta doing almost as much damage as Teddy.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't seen him on any range support to split apart from one Renata game. Now you've lost that pressure top, and bot lane, Keria has counter pick.
Yeah.
I could feel like he could take a range support here, and his goal would just be to win lane hard.
Soraka!
Soraka coming out in this one, and
this is what we wanted to see. And T1 is going to try to get it started much earlier than game number 1. Let's hop into the rift.
Stand still. And
yes.
Use his glide, and then Soraka can just throw a silence on his head. Very unfun to play against.
That's not very nice.
It isn't very nice. Just good to see. Yeah. Soraka can be really annoying. Pleta tries to dodge out the Q, doesn't manage to, and it's been 513 days since the last game.
And it was first Keria.
And it was the same matchup. Keria
Yeah.
remembered that. Yeah, I think Pleta was trying to find a handshake angle there, but now Sponge in trouble.
Uh-oh. He's going to have to go in here. A lot of damage already done to Guma as Sponge goes the opposite way from the Vi, and actually kind of saves him, although he could have just flashed immediately. And
Guma and Keria on. Look at top lane, how pushed up Zeus are. Yehu no longer has the strong side lanes.
Oh, the max range Q. That's a lot of damage, and Yehu's just going to glide away.
He used pretty much all of his health bar there. Good health bar usage, you know. I feel when you recall that low.
You know, they've got the momentum here. Teddy pretty low on mana.
I feel like a thing as well. I mean, you know, I talked about how...
Oh boy, here we go. They're just going to run them down, and the silence comes in. Pleta, the last hit is going to get the job done as, yes, bailout keeps him alive for a little bit, but it's still first blood to Guma already. They'll get 2. As T1, they move over, but it's a little bit slow. The mid prio is there, but Yehu's just always threatening coming in. The handshake is going to be utilized. It's not going to hit anyone. His owner's pulled back, and he's just going to get away. And now Faker finds the angle alongside Zeus. Says, yes, the exhaust is there, but Sponge is already dead. Doesn't have his flash anymore. As Pleta and Yehu also get pushed away, and owner's going to pick up 1 grub.
Very difficult to trade back. Your E cooldown is quite long as well. So it's not like you can just E every time Soraka Qs.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's the ult, and ooh, he nearly even clips Pleta there. I mean, Teddy is just... There is a TP though, as Jonas Strong is pointing out here. Let's see if T1 can get away from this one, as that is Yehu. They've got their own TP from Faker. As, yeah, the ult's going to be used by Yehu, but now he's just flashing and dashing away. I mean, that doesn't really do much in the trade of TPs.
I'm actually really glad that Faker TP'd, because
in this game. Yehu's in a bit of trouble. The Vi is finally going to use her ult, and the silence comes down so you don't get a dash away. You talked about how valuable that is into the Aurelion Soul, and we see it on display already 13 minutes into the game.
Yep, and this is the punishment for using that flash in the bot lane, and Teddy is 1v1 against Guma now.
He's going to try to go for the 1v1 here. I'm not sure exactly why. Look at the difference in plates. I mean, it's 10 plates to 0. And the laning phase dominance from T1 has really left its mark on this game number 2. It's not going to look anything like game 1 unless DRX get a massive turnaround. But they're going into Guma, who is a one-man army, and he has the rest of his team with him, as now going to get the handshake on here, the engage Renata, but the massive Kennen ult on top of everybody, and yes, the exhaust will help out. Down will go the Kennen, down will go Zeus, but the rest of the team looking to follow up here. They're not quite able to, though. A lot of health bars are low, as here comes Faker. The sweep gets nobody.
And using the full force of their team to try and defend it.
Uh-oh. Just going to face check into the Xin Zhao. Now it is a Azir, and he is going to dash away, but now we got the ult on top of him as well. He's going to get the knock-up onto Faker. Here come the heals from the Soraka, and the redemption to keep him alive! It's just not fair, as Faker, his side lane shenanigans are only empowered by the power of Soraka.
You get chunked down so much, but
Uh-oh, here's the kill! But he does have exhaust, and it is Cassante. Look at Zeus, he's trying to help. The cleanse comes in. Guma has to flash away, and he's still gonna get the execute. Jesus! And that's a kill. Now, they do have TP here available on Zeus. I don't know if they can really commit to this DRX, as now the TP comes in.
they've got to do it, they've got to do it.
It is a little bit late, but Owner's in the pit. He's ulting out of the backline. Sponge is dead. Oh no, it's disaster for DRX. It's an easy smite for T1. And this will be pretty much the end of the game, as massive amounts of golds went to the Draven. The Baron's going to go to the hands of T1, and they're already even pushing mid, as Owner's just going to chase Pleta and keep him off the map. Zeus says, I want a piece of the action as well, and Owner will pick up the kill. T1 running away with this game. All right, let's see it. Come on, Guma.
I think ideally Teddy.
Zeus is just going to press his buttons. He's just flashing on them, and they're all dead. It's another execute to come in. And yeah, that was an auto as well onto the Xin Zhao. Other stuff is happening, but I'm just watching the Draven one-shot people. As, yeah.
Oh, are we going to see how much damage it does? Because he killed Pleta, but he was on HP. Oh, there's Teddy. Run to him, Guma, run to him. That's surely one auto.
You're like, nah, it's not worth it.
The thing is, he has a decent amount of crit, but if he doesn't crit as well, it's not the same.
Teddy's like, no, I'll just stop the wave. Wait, they already have a wave. And, well, guys, this game is over. I'm sorry that game number 2 is not nearly as fun as game 1. But T1 really bopped them over the head.
Oh, but that's a Cassante.
Yeah, that's a Cassante. He's nearly dead. Just 3-4 autos down to that health as, yeah, Owner might go down here. The Nexus is very low as are they going to hit the Nexus? Okay, they finally do. And that'll be the end of game 2. T1 take the 2-0 tonight. He did, and I love how at the ending fight, he was like, you know what? They don't have flash. I'm just going to flash under the turret and ult them. He didn't have Zhonya's, didn't matter. He did his damage.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Sierra for the POG interview translation, joined by Zeus and Gumayushi on the side of T1. Congratulations! Zeus! With the consecutive victory, you guys are back on momentum. How do you feel? Yeah, being able to get our consecutive victory after a long time, I feel like it feels also like it's been such a long time since we got a clean 2-0, so it feels great. And Gumayushi, you finally got your first POG. How do you feel? To be honest, I thought I was gonna get POG in game 1, but I didn't get it, so I told myself maybe today's not my day for the POG, but being able to get POG in the second game and being able to win is very great. And Zeus, there were moments of struggle, but you've shown T1's true powers again with a decisive victory. So what changes did the team go through? I feel like we faltered before many times, and I believe that we are very capable and we know how to get back on our feet. So I think our mindset is that, no matter how many times we may slip, we can always get back on our feet. So I think that's how we were able to win. And so how did you manage to uplift the team spirit, Gumayushi? Honestly, I haven't personally had a lot of energy myself, so I didn't try to uplift the team on my own, but I think we were always trying to communicate as a team, and we had really healthy discussions as a whole team to try to get back and get ourselves back in the game. And Zeus, in game 1, the draft seemed to align well with T1's style and preferences, so can you walk us through the draft? I think for me personally, I just really tried to focus on the team fight, and I tried to CS as well and just try to scale. And this summer, Top Poppy hasn't won a single game, but you took Poppy as the R5 pick. So what was the reason behind this pick? I think Poppy is a really good late game champion. And just because the enemy had a lot of champions that actually struggle against Poppy, I think that's really the main reason we ended up taking Poppy in the end. So let's take a look at this next highlight. You knocked Renekton out with ult and zoned out Viego. So what was your read on the team fight? I actually ulted the Aurelion Soul before and he just flew back in. So I told myself, let's just use my ult on the Renekton. And I think, it was just so chaotic that I really wanted to hit my ult on the right target, but it was really confusing at times. And Kumayoshi, in game 2, we got a Draven along with Soraka after 513 days. So how did you come up with this pick? I didn't realize that it took so long for Soraka to come back. But I feel like Draven and Soraka is it's actually such a classic duo comp, so I think that's why we went with these picks today. And like the Caitlyn Lux last time, you guys seem to draft around bot prio, so what was the concept of today's bot lane picks? I think we just pick whatever we need with our comp. And I just knew that Draven has a good matchup against Kalista. Yeah, Draven's presence was overwhelming this game. And this champion actually can struggle in the late game, but you were able to scale from the start. So walk us through how you pulled this off. First of all, just getting the solo kill in the laning phase actually gives you a lot of edge, and it actually lets you snowball really well. So just because I was able to play so well early game actually just paid off. So let's take a look at this next highlight with the insane execute damage by Draven. And you were dragged by K'Sante, but you calmly dealt damage. How did you calculate the damage so perfectly? Honestly, I was not calm. I got flustered because K'Sante is so strong. But just because I had so many stacks with my ult, I just told myself I will kill him with my ult stacks in the end. So next Wednesday, you will face D plus Kia. What is your resolution, Zeus? D plus Kia has been playing so well lately, and I think they're they're a great team. And I want to make sure that we are prepared with just as strong performance. And I think we have a pretty rough schedule next week, so we will make sure that we are ready. And Kumayoshi, yeah, they're a good team, but I do believe that we can be even better, so I will make sure that we do our best to be prepared for the next match. And do you want to give any shout out to your fans? Yeah, the next week's schedule will be crucial for the playoffs, so I want to make sure that we win as much as possible. And we want to upkeep our winning streak in a good momentum and atmosphere. And Kumayoshi, I'm just happy that we're able to win 2 times this week, and I want to make sure that we do the same and get 2 victories next week as well. And that's the end of the interview from Zeus and Kumayoshi, and back to the space. Thank you.